This podcast is lewder than a cat burglar in a yarn store. Listener discretion is advised. And your episode begins in 3, 2, 1. Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to the Lusty Library. You know, where we drink some cocktails and quite frequently talk about cocks. We have a very special episode today. We decided to celebrate those special people in our lives, the people who really impact us, our moms. But before we unveil our special guest, I'd just like to give a shout out to my wonderful, wonderful co-hosts who also just fill my life with joy. The wonderful person who put all this stuff together, Miss Joey.
Stop. It wasn't me. I have nothing to do with this. You told me to show up here at this time, and here I am. You promised me cocks and booze. That's the only thing that I'm here for.
And then we roped in the last piece of the puzzle for our throuple.
That rhymes.
Miss Birdie.
Hey, and now you can't get rid of me because now I'm addicted.
Oh, yeah, you are. You've probably already guessed, because we're celebrating our moms. Our special guest today is my mom. Welcoming Sally.
Hello.
This is amazing.
But Sally's been here from the beginning. The very first moment when it was just a twinkle in Joey's eye.
Yeah.
Because she was sitting at the kitchen table when Joey was like, hey, I want to do a podcast.
And I thought it was a good idea.
And you've been supportive from minute one.
Rumor has it you have read more of J.T. Geisinger's books and also Serena Ackroyd than Miss Joey.
And Black Dagger Brotherhood. She has taken that to the umpteenth level. I got to book 7.
Oh, shit.
And she has read the main canon and then 2 offsets, if I'm not mistaken. She's blowing me out of the water. 3! She put a 3 fingers up, listeners. 3!
I have to know, what's been your favorite book or series so far that you've read?
The New Gods.
Oh, yes! Yeah, Ripley!
Nice. Oh, love it.
Honestly, we gave her a solid shout out when we started the pod, but I really feel like I need to go blast through that series.
Yes, you do, because I've read almost all of her published works at this point.
Yeah.
And not only that, I just have to say she is a beautiful, amazing human being.
Yep. If you're listening, Ripley, we love you.
We love you.
Can you tell?
I also have to say Black Dagger Brotherhood was right up there with them, like on par with each other.
Oh, yeah.
But they're very different, and they describe very different worlds, but they're all addressing the same issues that we are facing today. And I think in a reasonable approach and a sane approach as opposed to what we're experiencing in this moment.
So, listeners, if you haven't realized, Lexx is the spawn of Mama Sally. Okay, the brains that are coming out of that side of the room. I think now the scale is about to be balanced out this episode. I'm so excited for this.
You can definitely see the apple has not fallen far from the tree, which is ironic because you tried to get me to read forever. And it wasn't till I was in middle school that I actually took it up as something I enjoyed.
We were over at College Hill Bookstore in Providence, and you would not go near a book you could read. And considering I'm a librarian on top of everything else, it was very ironic. And at one point it was a children's librarian. I would often did my thing, and you went over there, and I was checking out, and honest to God, she had a stack of 12 paperbacks. Can I have these, Mom?
Oh.
Put them up there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Of all the things as a kid, she would never say no to a book. It was actually fantasy that got me into reading. Started off with some dragon books, and geez, with Rebecca Yarros, I'm still reading dragon books.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Sally, I'm really curious. So before we decided to do this crazy venture, How many romance books had you read before?
Hardly any. Because of my job, part of the job is collection development. So I was reading all kinds of YA books. I was also just reading the regular adult things so that I could keep in touch. There was no time for anything really romantic. And plus back then, the nurses' stories and the bodice rippers were kind of like, it's the same story of Jane Eyre all over again. What I'm appreciating now is that these authors are looking at this as a vehicle for social expression on so many levels. I have to say it's freeing my attitude toward a lot of different kinds of things. I'm experiencing different cultures that I had brushed with before, but really diving in, apart from all the steamy stuff, they're really human characters in these books, portrayed as human characters, not caricatures.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
lovely.
hear,
Well
hear.
done. Yeah. Listeners, we are upping the IQ level of this podcast. Flax, we have our special guest. What did you choose for this episode? Where would you go?
You know, I've been doing a lot of romantasy. We've been in the weird stuff for a while. You know, some aliens, some minotaurs. You know, I wanted to switch it up. So we are journeying to Montana, and we are doing some small town romance.
Oh,
But there's a thriller aspect to it. Today, we are doing Devney Perry's Bluebird Gold. Let me tell you guys a little bit about it. Living in Dalton, Montana was not what I had planned for this winter. But after my father's sudden death, I uprooted my life to move into this tiny lakeside cabin and settle his estate. My friends tell me to sell his place and move on. But this winter is my chance to say goodbye, to remember a man who loved tales of Montana's lore. Taking a temporary teaching job seems like the perfect way to keep myself busy on lonely days. Cleaning out the cabin should have been simple. Except the more I learned about my father's life, the more questions I have about his death. The last thing I needed is a crush on Sheriff Cossey Raines. Not only is his son my student, but his life is rooted in Montana, while mine is headed anywhere else. Yet as I uncover a trail of strange clues Dad left behind about a lost legend of Montana gold, staying away from Cossey is not an option. Neither is denying the attraction between us. My winter of healing becomes a race for answers. I came to Montana to bury the past. Now I'm falling for the man who might just be my future. And either I'll solve this mystery, or the person in Dalton determined to hide the truth will make sure I die trying. Can't just have a little simple story, gotta throw a little something in there.
well, the best part, this book is set in 1983.
I was about to say that. Like, nowhere in that summary do you get the 1983 element.
No.
I sort of feel like we're in a spot right now to have a good thriller. It's great to put it pre-1990 because you don't have cell phones. You don't have a lot of the technology that we rely on to just like look shit up or take a picture or whatever. So to do like a thriller and a mystery, the detectives really have to do the footwork.
But there's just so many things that happen in this book that could have easily been avoided with just a simple Google search.
Or a Ring doorbell.
Yes.
We start off with a letter from Ike, who is Ilsa's dad. And he wrote her just before his death saying, "Come back to Montana. I think about you. I think about you when you were a little girl and the stories I used to tell you while you're sitting on my lap. Just come visit me." Ilsa and her dad had an estranged relationship because her parents split up when she was very young. She moved to Phoenix with her mom, and her dad stayed in Montana, and she could visit for summers. But as she got older, that distance got more and more.
In the letter, he starts off with, "Yay, hey, come visit me," and then says, "Oh, I have a story to tell you." And just kind of oddly drops in this story about gold that hasn't been found in this Montana area that's very close to them.
He dropped that legend in the letter, but she sees it as just like he's remembering when she was a kid. So she comes to Dalton to settle his estate because she didn't get to visit him before he passed away.
And he suddenly passed away in a boating accident.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was sick. It wasn't that there was something happening. The cabin that her dad owned is on Cotter's Lake, which is desolate.
So you have small town, and then even in small town view, her dad's cabin is in the remote place of the small town.
She gets to the cabin, and there are boxes and shit everywhere.
She's overwhelmed.
She got a temporary teaching job for the rest of the year because the math teacher went out on maternity leave. So she is just getting by with go to work, come home, and deal with what looks like a mentally ill person's hoarder house.
Yeah.
I've known people who have houses like this and have had to go in and help clean them out and wondering what in the world were they thinking? What is going on in that brain? Is something wrong? Somebody that you used to love very, very much, and you come in and you walk into this.
I mean, there are boxes everywhere, and she starts looking in the boxes, and there's like a box just full of empty Campbell's soup cans. The box full of napkins with lists on it.
Why is he keeping those?
Exactly. So she starts thinking like, oh my God, did I miss the signs that he was mentally ill? And then she's in the middle of all this, and it's Sunday and the phone rings, and she knows who that person is. What do we think of Troy?
Ugh.
The noise that came out of Sally's mouth was exactly how my eyes rolled.
I saw the eye roll. And let's be clear, they never dated. They were quote unquote best friends, and they've each seen each other date other people. Everybody around Ilsa always thought they'd end up together.
Yeah.
She kind of thought they'd end up together. It's just the timing wasn't there.
As the conversation started out, this might be okay. Maybe he'll be a good friend, and maybe he'll come out there and they'll fall in love. Like 1/3 into the conversation, I went manipulator.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All of a sudden it switched. You're like, oh, great, fine. And then he's like, oh, we'll just get somebody else to come and clean your dad's house. You don't need to do that.
Mm-hmm. You need to come home.
No, he was trying to get her to come home so he could manipulate her however he was doing back there. He has no serious intentions of a real relationship with her, but he could use her.
Mm.
And I picked up on that real early. And
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was the smoke and mirrors. I was like, oh, Troy. Troy. Oh, fuck you,
Yeah.
Troy. But you'll find out more about that later.
I felt like mixed signals. I wasn't against Troy at the beginning, but I was like, dude doesn't know what he wants. I like that you start seeing after she gets off the phone, she's like, did I really miss him? Do I really care? Maybe this space is exactly what I need to figure it out because it's never happened yet. Why hasn't it happened yet? Have I just been using him as an excuse not to get close to anybody?
it was familiar. After her father had stopped calling her, because he used to call her once a week when she was in Phoenix.
Mhm.
And then as she got older and more involved in her own life, the calls fell off and eventually stopped. And Troy picked that up on
Yep.
the Sunday phone call. So he was also a habit, a comfort point of the week.
So she gets off her Sunday call with Troy and is, really thinking about things, looking at the mess, looks up at the window. Fucking guy in a ski mask looking in.
Dude, that's terrifying.
Terrifying. Joey, this is what you worry about when I take you to vacation in the sticks.
Yes, desolate places. Men in masks and Slender Man is all I can think of when you bring me to the woods.
Oh, because nobody's going to look in your fucking window in your first floor apartment in an actual city?
Oh, no, absolutely. But that's a normal thing that happens on a Tuesday. See, but I think the difference is I live in the city, so I look out my window and there's a neighbor there.
Mhm.
Our houses are so close.
Yep.
When I'm in the woods, I'm imagining there's no one else but the people I'm with. So when you see somebody lurking in the woods, they're not there with good intent going to 7-Eleven.
Exactly. And so being out in the middle of the rural spot in the rural town in the middle of fucking Montana and seeing somebody, that's fucking terrifying. But masked guy is there, then she turns away and then he's gone. She calls the station. They send somebody out. She gets a deputy. I like the next chapter starts with the sheriff, and he's just trying to have a nice Sunday. You find out he's a single dad. He just wants to get his routine done so that he can spend some time with his teenage son.
Fuck, he went to get fried chicken at the grocery store.
Uh-huh.
He feels like chicken tonight.
And so Sheriff Cassie Rains ends up getting called in.
Which, amazingly, on the CB radio.
I love
This isn't a cell phone. He's in El Trucco, and he gets a call on the CB radio.
But that wasn't my favorite part. He has to call his mom to tell him he's going to be late. Knitting needles. This is knitting needles. Over. So good.
Yeah, Sheriff Cassie Rains. Who are we picturing for him? Is there only one person in
Hold
this
on.
world?
Yes, I've got a picture pulled up.
This man came right to my head when I heard Cassie Rain's description.
Yes.
1970s. Tom Selleck.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
I watched so much Magnum PI as a small
Yes.
child. It's so funny because I remember going to the mall with my mom, and I don't know if you remember this, and my little Portuguese vovó. And we were going by Spencer Gifts, and they had a poster of Tom Selleck from Magnum PI, and I wanted it so bad. And my mom's like, you do not need that. And she started walking away, and my little Portuguese grandmother came in and bought it for me.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Is it because Vava also liked Tom Selleck?
Yes, I think she did.
Vival inspired your first wet dream in your bedroom.
Oh, God.
All right, I was 6. Can we Joey? I was having feelings and I didn't know what they were yet.
And it stayed on her bedroom door forever.
Yeah,
course.
until we moved out of that
That
house
house.
in the middle school, yeah. There really couldn't be anybody else by description. Just the broad shoulders, the thick thighs, and tight butt.
Especially if he was wearing those tight Wranglers.
Uh-huh.
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 Oh, sorry.
You're just
I
imagining.
just went somewhere there. Just a moment.
You totally had that faraway look.
I don't know what you're talking about.
How many times did they mention the way his jeans fit his bullet?
Oh, so many times. And his thighs.
6.
6.
It
Okay, I'm
was
glad
6.
you counted.
And his curly hair. It's just perfection.
Oh, have another sip.
Yeah, I can't have another sip because mine's gone, Lex.
Oh. Yeah, today we are having what I have dubbed the nice and cozy. Yes, I know it's pronounced cozy, but we're not doing that.
It's so fucking good, Lex. So good. You are just coming through with a win on this one.
I can't. You just keep putting me to shame every episode. You come up with a quirky name. You make your own drinks. And I'm like, Google, give me a drink recipe for this book.
They talk about them drinking black coffee together. And I'm like, okay. And then he drinks this whiskey later. And I wasn't going to get that whiskey because it's cheap whiskey. You know my feeling on cheap whiskey. But several times in the book, he talks about her eyes. And they are chocolate colored with these flecks of gold and cinnamon. And he says the gold and cinnamon like 3 times. And I'm like, all right, here we go. So our drink today is a lovely dark coffee with some mocha. Because my gals here can't get away from the Fireball, we got a shot of Fireball there, and then just floated just a little bit on the top is some Goldschlager because of the gold flake for her eyes.
This thing was effing delicious.
I'm glad you liked it.
This was so good, but I also love that you're like, you know how I feel about cheap whiskey, but I put Fireball in it.
Fireball in it, which is not even real whiskey.
just for you
Aw.
because I love you. Sally, how do you like it?
Oh, it's amazing. Good. I'm not really into that kind of thing, but this was really good.
Sally's cup is empty. Can vouch from over here.
It is absolutely delish, so make sure you go to the lustylibrarypodcast.com. Under the recipes tab, you can make 1 or 2, or call me and make a dozen, and we can have some warm, cozy cocktails.
We digress. We are barely at chapter 3 here. We are just out of control today. Sheriff Kazi shows up at the cabin, and there's poor Larry talking to Ilsa. Sheriff says, like, you put him to go take down a bar fight, he's all set. You put Larry in front of a pretty woman, and he's just garbage. He cannot do his job.
An angry pretty woman.
Yeah. Even as angry as she was, I think Ilsa was struck.
Oh,
Yeah. He is smitten kitten.
And they're both like, all right, got to keep it in because he's trying to be professional. She's trying to be professional. So he does his best. He looks around the property. He looks for tracks. But he's like, who the fuck would be out here? He's like, honestly, you're new in town. People are curious. It's a small town. It could be Sue Ann up the road or Robert. Nobody comes out here. Not even the people from town in the winter come out here. It's such a hike. So she's like, am I going nuts? I'm under a lot of stress. Okay, maybe this wasn't it. And the next couple chapters, we just get small town life. She goes to work. Her students are fucking merciless. This made me think of every poor substitute teacher that I saw the shits in my class give in trouble to. Fucking Paul Johnson, who's like, called her bitch, called her Ms. Crone. Ugh, just wanted to beat him up.
I wanted to slap that kid across the face.
But I love that she just wasn't having it. And she was like, you can leave. You can leave now. Where am I going to go? I don't care. Not here.
She gets in and she gives the kids their first test on basically what they were supposed to have learned in the first half of the year. Almost all of them fucking failed.
She did not make friends in town from this. But she stood her ground and she said, look, all right, practice test. I'm going to work with them to get them up to where they should be. A lot of the teachers didn't like it because it felt like she was showing them up. She'd go into the teacher's lounge and like nobody would talk to her.
The principal's giving her shit about this test. Parents are just coming in and talking to her. There's also one other special parent that comes in to talk to her.
Hello, Sheriff.
And she thinks he's there to give her an update about the little creeper at the cabin.
Yeah.
As he pulls out a test from his back pocket.
Because his son, like, math is supposed to be his best subject. And the only thing that Spencer kind of cares about right now is being on the basketball team. If his grades aren't good enough, he gets kicked off.
Yeah.
The sheriff's there just to find out, like, okay, what's going on? Because it wasn't this bad before. Ilsa just says, hey, they are not at the level they're supposed to be. Don't worry about it. It's a practice test. It won't affect his grade, but, like, there's work to do here.
I love the way he just backed down immediately and he was like, fine. And he's like, I just wish my kid actually liked school.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to beg for extra credit. And he didn't.
Yeah.
He just backed down and he was like, all right, I trust you.
Because a lot of the other parents were like, you don't know what you're doing. You're incompetent. Like, she was just getting shit all week. So, end of the week, she's tackling that house again. Ugh, so much stuff. The phone rings and she answers it. And it's Troy. It's a Saturday. He doesn't call on Saturdays. What's going on?
Fucking Troy. Fucking Troy is dating a chick named Lori. Him and Lori are going to have lunch with her parents on Sunday, so he won't be able to call her on Sunday.
And Lori could be the one, and he's so nervous.
But he has this whole, like, pause moment where he's like, but me and Lori were, fucking spit it out, Troy.
The way he was talking about the relationship with Lori, maybe the one, or it may not be the one, and he wants to keep her in reserve.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. And back to, like, the manipulation.
Yes.
You're right. Like, he just wanted to give her this little,
Hint.
yes, slimy.
I have done many amazing things in my life. Being able to realize a quality partner is not it. And I can see that I am so bad at seeing red flags. No red flags.
You're learning through the books. But I like that when she ends the phone call with him, she feels like something's off. She feels like she's been using him as an excuse.
The big thing is whenever they hang up the phone, they never say goodbye. They say, we'll talk to you later. At the end of this call,
Yeah.
she is the one to say goodbye to him. Because this is her point of saying, I'm washing my hands, I'm done. This is the best change that I need in my life.
Mm-hmm. So, she's going to go take a nice walk on the lake, clear her head. Lo and behold, strange old man comes out, hands her a letter.
Wait a minute. Strange old man walks across the frozen lake.
Yes. Out of nowhere.
Terrifying.
Across the lake. Hands her a letter, goes, your dad's death was not an accident.
This fucking exploded the book. Our pal Jerry blew everything out of the water, and I was like, oh, shit. I thought this was just going to be a let's go find gold book,
Mm-hmm.
but now we're talking about Ike getting killed?
Yep.
Oh.
A lot of it was like, are you looking at someone who was mentally unstable the entire time?
Right.
Was this just all concocted in his head? Just some of the stuff you're seeing at the house and everything that's happening around, you're like, okay, is this real? Is this not real? It's breadcrumbs the entire book, and you can go in so many different directions.
This puts a seed of doubt in Ilsa's brain. So she goes to the sheriff's station to ask Cassie more details about her father's death. I love the little small town pieces of this where Cassie's at his desk and Pamela,
Pamela.
comes in to be like, there's somebody here to see you.
Pamela is the sheriff's secretary, and she knows everything about everybody in that small town.
Of course she does.
Have you ever lived in a small town like this where everybody knows your business?
And this is where I look at Sally.
Yes, I grew up in a small Midwestern town in southern Illinois that was the county seat. It was also a refinery town for Texaco oil. It's mostly farmers. It doesn't matter whether you're a Presbyterian, a Baptist, a First Christian, Catholic, Jewish. Everybody knows everybody's business. The way the rumors will go around, too. It really is that fast. Especially through the post office and the banks. Everybody knows everything. And then, of course, the hair salons. In all fairness to these people, it's meant with kindness. It's looking out for each other. On the converse side of it, when somebody's ill, the casseroles start coming in and the pots of soup. Do you need me to watch the kids? That kind of community is very supportive in many, many ways. There's a lot to be said for a good small town.
Yeah.
I never feel like Pamela's judgy. In this instance, she's having fun with it. She knows Cassie doesn't date. She knows he's not somebody who chases a skirt. And a very beautiful woman has just walked in asking to talk to the sheriff again. Since Ilsa met Jerry, she's got this thought of like, maybe it wasn't an accident. Maybe my dad wasn't mentally ill. Maybe something did happen. So she comes to ask the sheriff for more details. He says, like, I was there. It's an accident, and I know what it's like to want it to be something else. He probably was just not doing well after Donnie's death. And we go,
Who?
This is when we find out that Ike had moved on and he had met somebody and there was a love of his life. Donnie had passed and Ike was fucking devastated. He may have just not wanted to live after this.
During this interaction, Cassie realizes, oh, I'm fucking screwed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this was one of my favorite lines. He goes, in another life, I would have followed this woman around like a lost puppy until she'd given me the time of day.
Yes.
For a guy who doesn't date, as we come to find out his backstory and how he became a very young single dad, he hasn't felt this way about a woman in a long time.
And of course, isn't that what everybody wants to read about?
Yes.
This person just turned me around and made me love again.
I also just love a good single dad story. He's a good dad.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and even though he's going through the hard times with the young teenage son, he's trying, man. And you can see that Spencer actually really cares about his dad. Like, they're not always talking great. But I love that Spencer makes his dad a grilled cheese so that he has something to eat when he comes home. Spencer's a great kid.
Cossey's a great sheriff because after Ilsa leaves, he asks Pamela to go get Ike's file. He wants to review it again. Make sure he didn't miss anything during his investigation.
Because it's Montana, and it's cold, and it's winter, there's a lot of fucking snow. So we get Ilsa snowed in the isolated cabin for a week.
My fucking nightmare.
That's the shitty part, is that eventually there's so much snow and the signals get messed up that now she has no TV or radio. God, that's quiet.
Yeah, but it gives her a chance to clean the cabin.
Yeah.
Top to bottom.
Now she has a different understanding because before today she didn't know about Donnie.
Yeah.
And now kind of seeing the boxes, she's starting to put some pieces of the puzzle together, like maybe Dad was getting ready to move in with Donnie if she was the love of his life. And then she suddenly passed. He started a spiral from there. Okay, the boxes are kind of making sense now.
Yeah.
This is so much, though. I was moved by this for her, to find out and be alone with your thoughts that you have this realization that maybe your mom was not the love of your dad's life when you've lived your whole life up to this point thinking that that was the case. That's earth-shattering.
You can have more than one love of your life.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times people have them early on in life. Sometimes they have another one in midlife and maybe one in later life. I don't think it's that unusual because when you get that much distance between the original relationship, there's bound to be someone else to come in and fill that gap. It's unfortunate that her mother never found anybody, but that he did, and he waited a long time.
It is so refreshing to hear you say that, too, because I think a lot of these books that we read make it seem like there's this one person, this magical one, and people are beaten over the head with that and feel bad if they don't have it.
I think there are people out there to help us awaken parts of ourselves that we didn't know were there. Sometimes those relationships have a lifespan, but you've got that knowledge, and then maybe you can encounter someone else who can respect that and add to it.
Oh,
You change throughout your life.
That's what I was just thinking.
Sometimes your partners change and grow with you, and other times they don't. And that leaves it open to meet other people who are kind of at the same place you are in your life.
Growth is an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
If you find the right people, they'll grow with you. And there are those who are afraid of that growth.
Ilsa is rocked, I think, to her core. And this is when the tears start coming.
It's Saturday. Phone rings.
It's her mom.
Yay! We finally get to meet the mom.
She tells her mom that she's snowed in, and her mom loses her shit. Because her mom knows what it's like to be snowed in Montana.
Yeah, she lived there until Ilsa was 6.
Yeah.
And she's like, I am never going back. She moves to fucking Phoenix, man. Ilsa starts asking about her dad. And do we remember what's in the letter from Jerry?
So the note says, find the atlas and a key. The truth is behind a tap dance.
She asks her mom, does that make any sense? Ilsa's like, I never tap danced. And she's like, yes, you did. There was a teacher who came, didn't last very long because, Montana. But as a little girl, she was learning how to tap dance, and her dad would move all the furniture out of the way so that she had space to twirl around and tap dance.
Well, her mom was very specific that your dad would move all the furniture out of the living room.
Yeah.
So then she's like, well, I haven't moved the furniture in the living room. She moves the coffee table after she talks to her mom and doesn't see anything until she gets her shoe caught on a board that seems to be a little loose. And as she looks down, it's got 2 divots in it.
The shape of the hammer that she just put away.
Absolutely.
So she puts her hand underneath the floorboards. No.
Blah.
All I can think of is mice and anyway, and pulls out a leather journal. And she looks out the window in the middle of a snowstorm. Drifts of snow up to the window. And the fucking ski mask guy is there again.
This was bad timing
Yeah.
for that person to be looking through the window.
No, it was perfect timing for them to be looking through the window.
That moment really freaked me out. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This person's going to break this door down right now.
That's when she went to get the kitchen knife.
The first time this happens, you say to yourself, okay, new surroundings, maybe I imagined it. It could have been shit, whatever it was. But this happens to you twice and in the middle of a blizzard. They didn't say how many feet of snow, but it made it sound like this was multiple feet.
And because she's all the way out by the lake, it's not like here in New England where we have an army of plows.
No, the town has 1.
Yeah, there's a reason why school's canceled for the week. They'll get the main roads done first, and then they'll go out from there. And out to the lake where nobody's really living is going to be one of the last. So she freaks out and calls the sheriff's office again. Then we get the switch. You see Cassie and Spencer digging out. They're going to the sheriff's station, and they have to leave the truck somewhere and then truck through the snow to get to the station. And that's when Cassie finds out, okay, she called in again. And there's a little part of Cassie that's like, oh my God, is she like that old lady who anytime anybody did anything, she was calling the sheriff's station? He's worried that Ilsa might be that big city gal who just calls about everything. At the same time, he feels like, oh, God, what if I'm wrong? Let me get out there. He asks the deputy, did you talk to Hank, who's the guy who's the head of the plowing? When are they going to do out there? Hank's like, you can go piss up a rope. Yeah. Cassie has to call him, promise to do more plowing in town so that Hank doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Just to get it cleared out to get to Ilsa's. So Cassie goes back out to the cabin once he's able to get out there. Ilsa is shook up this time. He does his best to investigate around in the snowdrifts.
He still doesn't see anything, any evidence that there was anybody there.
But something's not sitting right with him because he's like, this is a smart, savvy person who seems very independent. He's like, there's just something I'm missing, but there's no evidence.
And then Ilsa drops on him. Well, what if there's someone out there? What if this someone killed my father? And he's like, huh? No. Your dad died in an accident. He's like, I lost my dad young too. It was a hunting accident. I know you want to think it's something else, but all it was an accident.
I didn't like at this point that she didn't share more information with Cassie.
But she doesn't know him. This is their, let's count it, 1, 2, 3, 4th time interacting with each other.
All right.
We make it through the storm, and she has a crappy week at school. The kids are awful still again. So she does her best to go to work, come home. She starts reading through her dad's journal. And she thinks it's going to be more of the letter to Donnie, more of those sweet things. And once she gets past that first page, it's not letters to Donnie. It's weird stuff.
Ramblings, random words, numbers, lines, stuff that doesn't make sense.
So she decides she didn't know him very well. She wants to find out more things. She also needs to get out of this routine. So after school, she decides to take herself on a date. and she decides to go try out the bar. Mom, this bar makes me think of the one when she and I went on a trip back to Illinois to see where she grew up.
Oh, that's cool.
And she kept telling me we're going to have catfish in the best place ever.
Oh my God, I love it.
So she takes me to this place, and it's a small brick building with like 2 windows, and that's it.
Yes.
And you open the door, and I felt this scene in the book of everybody turns around and looks at you, and the
Yes.
smell of smoke, and it's really dark. Just remember the regulars who turned around like the biggest belt buckles you have ever seen on a human being. Now, that being said, we had a very lovely dinner, and it was the best catfish I've ever had.
God, that sounds great.
So Ilsa goes, and their tendon bar is actually kind of a handsome guy. Name of the place is Trick and Sully's. And we find out who's behind the bar is Trick.
Patrick Dugan. I've never heard the nickname Trick. I think it's super cool.
I like it. I have to say, I think it might be hinting at something down the line.
Oh, do you now? Okay. Block
What?
your ears for 30 seconds, listeners, if you haven't read the book and you don't want to be spoiled.
The technical name is Dickensian, but
Dickensian, yes.
it's the books of Charles Dickens.
And a name of a person actually is their quality.
Oh, I love it. Gosh, we sound so fancy. Dickensian.
This is a highbrow episode,
Yes.
ladies and germs.
So, and she orders a vodka Collins. And she sees it as an opportunity to be like, hey, do you know my dad? Was he ever in here? And trying to gather some knowledge on who her dad was to maybe kind of try and make sense of any fucking thing in that journal.
I liked the way that Trick mentioned, like, yeah, well, he sort of was a little bit of a regular, especially after Donnie died.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of implied that maybe he was putting a little too many away at the bar.
Bluebird, as he referred Ike to,
Yes.
used to come into the bar with Donnie, and then afterwards was coming in alone. She has her drink. He makes burger and fries.
And they have some cute little banter, like they joke about a bar fight breaking out.
Totally Chekhov's bar fight.
Yeah.
Just before she got ready to leave, some new people came into the bar. 4 guys.
Everybody was on edge when they kind of walked in, like they were not welcome there.
Trick was like, hey, Chris. Chris was like, 4 beers, please. And he's like, I told you not to bring him back in. And he's like, he promised he'd be okay. So Elsa gets up to leave, and this dude walks into her path. I was like, hey, gorgeous. And she's like, hi, eye roll, barely acknowledging him. And is like, where are you going? I was going to buy you a drink. And I love her. Oh, darn, I'm all done. Move. She was not taking his shit. And Trick is like, Jackie? Absolutely not.
I mean, I didn't feel bad for our boy Chris when Chris tried to pull Jackie off and Jackie ended up punching him in the face. I was like, sorry, Chris, you kind of asked for it.
I love that Trick went to get the baseball bat.
Yep.
I also just had the vision of Trick jumping over the bar with the baseball bat. You know, that like one-handed jump that they do in the movies. But can we just talk about the description of what happens next, which is like one of my favorite parts of the whole fucking book?
Go for it.
The epic description of Sheriff Raines walking into the bar, his presence just dripping authority and confidence. I was like, Lex, do we need to have our sexy stud read this part about when Sheriff Raines walks into the bar? I was like, holy shit.
Once again, drift compatible.
Oh my God, yes, really?
I wanted a non-sexy, sexy stud moment.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Of just like, describe him in this moment. It's amazing.
Yes, oh my God, I love this.
The whole scene, though, because he comes in exuding his sheriff machismo. And he says to Jackie, I told you, you're not to come back to this town. And then it actually breaks up into a fight. Jackie swings, Cassie ducks, takes his arms.
You missed the most important part of the first punch that Jackie goes for. He's ready for Jackie to punch him, so he's flexing his abs already. So when Jackie goes to punch him, he hits a brick fucking wall and goes, oh shit. Yes. You could just imagine him getting punched in the gut and just like not even flinching. Oh my God, so hot. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm not normally into law enforcement, but like, woo!
Is it because he's a sheriff and he's elected into his position?
Oh my God, yes, that must be what it is, Lex.
Yeah.
You're so right. And then he just totally uses the momentum. He pulls him down onto the ground. He starts reading him his rights like a good doobie, handcuffing him.
His deputies show up. They take him away.
One thing I think this book was missing is we needed more Cossey sheriffing in the book. There were 2 instances where he did his cool sheriff things, but I'm like, I wanted more. Panty wetter all the way.
Yes, honestly. Because, like, I always put the, like, fire emojis in my notes when I'm like, this is so hot. The one that I put for this book was this scene.
No nudity involved whatsoever, but it got 5 fucking fire emojis.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you. Oh my God, I've been desperately waiting for this moment.
After the brouhaha and Cossey sheriffs everything under control, he looks over and he sees Trick has his hand on Ilsa's arm, and he's not fucking happy.
Yeah.
Why is Trick so close to her?
Oh, I loved it.
Cossey walks Ilsa back out to the car, and he's like, Trick's place brings in a certain kind of person. You really shouldn't be coming here.
But did you love how she baited him for that line? Where
Yeah.
she was like, oh, is this the part where you tell me not to do something? Because, like, please stop. But she then jabs him even further, and she was like, yeah, well, apparently I'm just as safe at this bar as I am at my house.
I loved it.
Go where I damn please. And I
Yep.
was like, yeah, girl.
Oh, she gets under his skin.
Ooh, she does, but he loves it.
So she's back at the cabin. I had to laugh. She has put blankets up around all the windows.
Yeah, because she's a smart bitch.
Is it? I want to be able to see if there's somebody outside.
No.
Yeah, I actually can't lie. I think I'm on Team Lexx on this one.
No. Out of sight, out of mind.
You know what? I hate to tell you, the blankets are not keeping the Slender Man out. Sorry. She goes to bed, and she starts seeing light through the blankets on the window. And she's like, what? Uh-oh. And then we see that the light changes, and instead of being kind of white and silvery, it's red and orange.
Oh, that was scary.
The fucking shed's on fire.
Yeah.
So, Cossey's back. The description of like the volunteer fire department getting up there, and there's no saving the shed. They just kept it from getting the house. He looks around again.
He actually finds remnants of dyed diesel.
Yes.
And he's like, I don't think I had anything that would have used dyed
No.
diesel. And as he follows the little droplets of dyed diesel, he then ends up seeing a footprint.
Over by the lake. And he's like, all right, I got to come back when there's light. He gets back to the cabin, and Ilsa is sitting in Ike's truck trying to get it to start. Her truck's not going anywhere. He gets her to pack up a bag, and they drive into town. It's an uncomfortable truck ride, very quiet. And he's like, so where are you staying? She's like, I don't know, the motel.
The motel owners are out of town until March.
But the vacancy sign is on.
Yeah, well, they never take it down.
Oh.
Panic attack ensues
Yep.
because she's been there, like a month? She has no friends.
Doesn't know anybody in town.
No.
Okay, well, then I'll stay, one in, 3 towns over, and it's an hour away. He's like, nope, not going to happen.
Well, he does offer her the jail cell next to Jackie.
Even though it's the 4-star Holiday Inn, she says, no, thank you.
Yeah. Elsa is going to stay in Cassie and Spencer's guest room.
She does protest.
She does.
She does.
But
And he just doesn't listen to her.
Nope. He brings her to the guest room and they go to part. And she's going to walk in the room, and all of a sudden he hears, Cassie, thank you. The first time she uses his first name.
yeah,
Oh, he melts into a puddle.
yeah, he's fucked.
And then they wake up the next morning. And she comes into the kitchen because the smell of coffee. And there he is, pouring coffee.
Mm-hmm. Let's quickly talk this scene.
Yep.
He is wearing a Henley.
It's
Yep.
highlighted in my notes because I know how much y'all love Henleys.
Yes.
With the flannel over it.
Yep.
He's just out of the shower, so his longer, wet hair that's curling at the ends. Wearing well-worn jeans.
Tight on the thighs
Mhm.
and buttocks.
Very important detail.
And no shoes.
Yes, and she does remark on how most men's feet are gross, but not his.
No.
Yeah, this scene is another one of them where I'm like, just the descriptions of this man.
yeah.
Some of the best parts of the books.
Devney is in love with her own MMC, and I love it. You can tell with the way it's written, just a description of what he's wearing, how he moves, and then also his own self-awareness and growth. Written by a woman, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So basically, they're having some coffee, and he's like, okay, I'm going to go check out your cabin. I got to do some investigating in the sunlight. And she's like, okay, I'll be ready in 5. And he's like, no, you won't. You aren't coming.
He walks away from her.
And so she takes her time. She finishes her coffee. She's pouring another coffee. She thinks he's waiting. Then she hears the garage door. She's like, what the fuck? Gets to the door, opens the door, and he's driving down the road.
He's gone.
And she's looking at the road, and she hears, Miss Poe?
Like, fucking guy, did he neglect to tell his child?
No, he did pop his head in.
All
Because
right.
Spencer makes the comment, yeah, Dad said he'll be back in a couple of hours. She's like, he talked to you?
He's like, yeah, you wouldn't leave without talking.
He goes, yeah, duh.
Yeah, duh.
When he comes home after investigating, this whole time he's been like, I need to resist this. I'm attracted, but this is his teacher. She's not going to be around. And he sees Spencer and Ilsa at the table doing Spencer's homework. And he goes, I am entirely fucked.
Yep.
Yes.
That's it.
Can you blame the guy?
No, because Spencer's doing his homework, smiling.
I loved Spencer and Ilsa's relationship
100%.
as it develops through the book. Very sweet.
Mm-hmm. So he finishes his homework and he's like, okay, bye. And Cassie's like, you were going to be my buffer.
Yeah. Cassie was banking on that.
And he's like, Grandma called me for a date, so we're going to go to dinner and a movie. Bye, guys.
It doesn't take more than maybe 5.5 minutes after Spencer walks out the door for the two of them to get it on like Donkey Kong.
For her to climb him like a tree?
I was like, this little banter is bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of those things that makes me twitch when he calls her baby. Not my thing.
Oh! No!
I know.
No. There is something physically wrong with you!
You baited her for that
I melted!
Thank you for reacting exactly as I wished.
She's like, don't call me baby. Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah,
Say it again.
yeah. But I loved his POV where he's like, and her cheeks went red, which means that calling her baby is, in fact, exactly what she wanted me to do.
Mhm.
And I was like, yes.
The heat gets turned up. The two of them are just kissing, and it's a deep, lust-fueled kiss. And then they have a moment, and they're like, oh, we can't do this. No, we can't do this. Oh, really bad idea. really bad idea. And then you can just kind of hear Ilsa go, fuck it.
Honestly, though, I mean, he's got a lot more to lose than her. She technically could just leave town at the end of her little substitution stint.
No, his concern's more about letting somebody in that could affect Spencer.
That is true.
Exactly.
So, needless to say, clothes go on the floor.
This was quick. This was like, woo!
I love it, though. He says, okay, this is just going to be hard and fast just to get it out of our system.
And I'll take my time again later.
I love that. Honestly, I love this for them.
I love this for them. I love this for me.
Yes, exactly.
But then the next morning comes and she slips out, trying to pretend like nothing happened because Spencer comes home and she just feels awkward all day. And they seem fine.
Yeah, well, she's had about 5 orgasms since the first time, but I think she's concerned now, oh my God, Spencer's going to know. I smell like his dad's Zest soap.
I loved the three of them as a little family
Yeah.
unit from the
Uh-huh.
very beginning.
And then she starts walking to school with him.
That was like my
Oh.
favorite. And he is like so cool. And she's like, as we get closer to the school, do you need me to bend over and tie my shoe?
So that there's distance.
And she looks down and she's wearing knee-high boots with no laces.
So cute.
He's like, no.
No.
He goes, I don't care what anybody thinks of me. Which you'll never hear out of any 14-year-old's mouth nowadays.
He was such a
Mhm.
cool kid.
He really was. I loved him.
When we get to school, he goes off and does his thing. And principal shows up to talk to Miss Poe. Ms. Poe.
That principal can take a long hike up
Yeah.
a short fucking cliff, let me tell you.
It's the Monday after the weekend. And he's already given her the talk of, I hear you're staying out at the sheriff's house. Yes, there was a fire at my house and there's no motel. You know, it's not against the rules, but it's frowned upon to date parents.
I hated him.
Yeah, he's a dick. Ilsa's like, holy shit, it's already a thing?
Yeah, that sucked.
That's fast.
Yeah.
Cassie comes by later to pick her up. And she's like, oh, do you have more details? And he's like, no, your cabin's been vandalized.
Yeah.
When he said vandalized, I'm like, oh, did they do some spray paint or whatever? No.
No.
Somebody has torn that shit apart and ripped everything up.
Every glass broken, all the clothes out of the
Yeah.
closet.
What a violation.
Yeah.
To me, it was one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the whole book because everything that had been her father had been destroyed.
You know, she's got the one glass jar left with her stuff that she takes to school because her dad used to drink out of glass jars. He helps her pack up and back to his place they go. And they think it's a student. They think it might be Paul. We get home after the vandalizing. Ilsa does at this point talk to Cassie about the journal. He says, can I read through it? Can I take a look at it? See maybe another set of eyes? And in her dad's journal, way in between the pages, is just that set of numbers for box 286.
And she starts to lose her mind. She's like, oh shit, were all of Dad's boxes in his cabin numbered? Because now everything's all fucked up. The shit's all everywhere. She threw half of them away.
Is that where the key was? I am fucked. She goes to work the next day. Cassie does pick her up from work because he's worried about her safety. And also, he's not going to let anybody else help her out. And she's like, I got to go by the post office. My mom sent me a box. And she goes to check her dad's P.O. box. And inside there's the red slip. So it means there's a lot of mail that needs to be picked up. They give it to the postmaster. And as she's standing there, she has an epiphany because all the P.O. boxes are numbered. She has a bunch of keys and she wonders, will any of these fit 286? So actually, Cassie gives the slip to Ron, the man at the post office. And while he goes to get the mail, she quickly tries to open the box and one of the keys fits. And she opens it up and there's another red slip in there. And Ron comes out and goes, wonder when you were going to clear that out. He knew that was Donnie's box. Ilsa collects all the stuff. They open up that envelope. And what's in there, my friends?
A fucking atlas.
Dun, dun, dun.
So good.
So they get back home and they've got all that stuff all over the kitchen table. They're trying to figure out Atlas, the book. So Spencer comes out later when dinner's ready and he's looking at all the stuff on the table. And he's like, what's this? Turns out Spencer's the one who goes, hey, this part in the journal, that's the key. He figures out the line of one of the rivers matches the atlas page for Dalton. And his dad's like, how did you figure this out? And he's like, oh, we're doing Dalton history in school. He's like, you paid attention in class? So the family spends the rest of the night, like, trying to figure out the journal, all three of them together. It's so cute.
It's so
Yeah.
cute.
And it's so late that finally they're like, all right, it's time for you to go to bed. And he's like, can I skip school tomorrow?
It was adorable.
So cute. Ilsa's like, why? Because you need to sleep in or because you want to avoid the math test? And he's like, I had to try.
Yeah.
As he's getting ready to go to bed, Kosi says, hey, Spencer, Ilsa's going to be sleeping in my bed. You good with that? Yeah, Dad, I think I'm good with that. Ilsa's like, what was the giveaway when you saw your dad kiss me? He's like, no, this morning when he was checking out your ass.
Yeah.
When you were walking out the door and then he winked at me. Kind of knew it then.
Oh, the hotness ensues. Do we need some sexy stud at this point?
It's about damn time.
I know. All right, take it away.
I came down on top of her, rolling to her belly and covering her back with my chest. Then I let my cock nestle in the crack of her ass. All fours, baby. She obeyed. Our bodies moving in tandem as she lifted to her hands and knees. Then she flipped her hair out the way, looking over her shoulder at me with those magnificent chocolate eyes. You're perfect. I grabbed the globes of her ass, spreading her cheeks as I lined up at her entrance. Then, with a single thrust, slid into her tight, wet heat. Fuck. It was better than I could ever have imagined. Heaven. And with nothing between us, I felt every flutter of her inner walls, every shudder in her body as she adjusted to my size. Oh, God, she moaned. You feel made for me. You were fucking made for me. I pulled out and thrust forward again, sinking as deep as I could go. With a flip of a clasp, her bra was free, the straps sliding down her arms until she tossed it aside. Her breasts bounced with every piston of my hips. As I pumped forward, she sank back, matching my rhythm, driving me wild. Ilsa's back arched, her eyes squeezed shut as she chased her second release. It hit like a lightning bolt, toppling her forward and into the pillows where she could hide her scream. Her body clamped around me like a vice, pulsing over and over and over again as she gave in to her orgasm.
Listen, this was not thing out of the ordinary. I will say definitely Dirty Chuck 100. I love me some Dirty Coffee.
But it's the connection that makes it good. But there's not going to be a quiet night of snuggling, is it?
No, because, well, he's the sheriff, so of course the phone rings. Never a good thing.
And his deputy's like, there's somebody looking for Ilsa. What's his name? I forgot. God damn it, you need to write these things down.
The guy shows up looking for Elsa, says he's been up to the cabin, can't find him. And somehow the deputy tells this random guy that she is staying with the sheriff.
Fucking so dumb.
And the sheriff's like, even if he didn't tell him where I lived, all he has to do is look it up in the white pages. There's a key to the 80s.
Yes.
So yeah, there's Troy on the doorstep. And she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here?
I mean, to be fair, she did drop off the face of the earth
Yeah.
and then he shows up to the cabin and it's trashed. That's terrifying.
Yes. As protective as Cassie was of her, he did give her a little space to be able to talk to this person, even though he's like, who is this guy?
It was a swinging dick standoff for a couple of minutes there where Cassie's got his arms like wrapped around his chest, puffing it up.
His bare chest.
Yes, I know.
Meow, meow, meow. Let's not neglect that Ilsa's there wearing just Cassie's flannel. No panties on.
Yeah, she had to go put pants on.
But Ilsa asks for a moment, and he gives it to her. Before Troy shows up, you really get the feel like, okay, son, stamp of approval. Mom, stamp of approval. They're figuring out their stuff. There's that connection. Like the family unit would work.
Yeah.
What could stand in the way? Troy.
Troy.
And Troy and Ilsa have it out. Like, she's not having this. She's not seeing it as a big romantic gesture. And he's just like, let's get that cabin sold. Let's get it cleaned up. We can bring in a realtor. We can get you back home.
Troy actually says that maybe Cassie was the one to vandalize the cabin.
Oh, that's right.
Tries to put the blame on him. Ilsa's like, the Jude's the sheriff. He's a good guy. Well, you don't know him.
She's like, I know him. I know his heart.
Ilsa says, I was never planning on coming back to Arizona. Let's be real here. I was holding on to something that was never going to happen because it would have happened if it was going to.
Yes.
Did you love his response, though?
Oh, my God. That I did not see coming.
No, I didn't either.
I almost did, yeah.
I did. All the interactions that he's had with her have all been manipulated by him.
He says there were 3 women who've wanted my ring, and I said no to them. I was just waiting for the right time. Because Troy wanted to do what Troy wanted to do, and at the end of the day, he was going to pick Ilsa when he wanted to pick Ilsa, not when it was a good time for them.
Ugh.
It was all about him.
And when he turns around and said, you were a big waste of time, I was like, oh, I would have been flipping fucking tables.
And I like that Ilsa was like, all right, you're not staying on the couch. You can find your own place to stay. Get out.
As painful as it was finally the affirmation that she needed to walk away.
Yes.
The part that Cassie overheard was that she was never planning to stay around. Now he doesn't know that the internal monologue on her head is, maybe this isn't such a bad place.
Yeah.
Maybe I could stay here.
Yes.
All Cassie heard was that she'd be leaving, and he was triggered. He was afraid of somebody leaving him again, so he starts to immediately close off.
She's broken up over what happened with Troy, first of all. She wants to just sink into Cassie. He's closed off. And she just needs a little space. And she says, I'm going to go sleep in the guest room. And he doesn't say anything.
And here's your miscommunication trope, Miss Joey.
It wasn't as bad as many other books.
You know what it is? It's because you hear the inner monologues.
Yeah.
Where the two of them are like, we just need to really have a heart-to-heart conversation. We should really be talking about this. Oh, I need to tell her exactly how we feel. That you're just like, how many days are we going to let this go?
A few, because they just avoid each other for days.
And the worst part is, on one of the walks to school, Spencer says to her, hey, I've got an away game tonight. Do you want to go? And I'm like, oh, yes, she wants to go. You want her to go. She wants to go. And she realized, I don't know if Cassie wants to spend an hour with me each way in the truck. She's like, oh, well, I'll think about it. She wanted to go.
She wanted to go, but then Cassie was like, hey, Spencer's got an away game, so I made some extra keys. They're underneath the mat. You can let yourself in. Oh.
Yeah, that made me feel so sick.
Ilsa, worse off, with the vandalism and everything, the truck and the rabbit got destroyed. Like, the tires were slashed. I think on Ike's truck, they broke the seat, like they ripped it wide open. Cossie says, hey, it's at the mechanic. We'll get it taken care of. So she doesn't even have a vehicle at this point. She's walking or she's relying on Cossie to take her anywhere. So Saturday morning comes around. Cossie gets the phone call that the truck is ready. Ilsa and Cossie are sitting down at the table. Cossie's ready to talk, and Ilsa just shuts him down.
Oh, yeah.
Like, anytime he goes to say anything, she's like, yeah, I'm going to go get the truck. And he's like, I'll give you a ride. No, I'm going to walk. Don't worry about it. And she goes off to get the truck by herself.
Cue the wood chopping scene.
I was wondering if they were going to get one of those in here.
So Linda came and she found Cossie chopping wood. And she's like, what's wrong? Nothing.
Cossie, your father always came out and chopped wood when something was really wrong. By the time he died, I had 5 years worth of wood.
And they have this wonderful heart-to-heart. And she calls him up short on his shit. And is like, you're in love with this girl. She's good for Spence. She's good for you. Just fucking go for it. And he's like, well, I'm afraid of somebody leaving and hurting Spence. And she's like, stop using him as an excuse and live your life. And I love the, like, all right, I got to go find her now.
And he realizes, I know the mechanic's a talker, but she's been gone for a while. And all of a sudden, the light bulb goes off in his head. He's like, fuck, she drove to the cabin.
And she did go to the cabin, and she was having a moment just sitting out on the dock going, I actually feel good out here. She's like, maybe I do find work out here. Maybe I can get a permanent teaching job. She's out at the lake, and she looks across, and she sees smoke. She's like, oh, my God, there's a cabin out there. Jerry. She goes across the ice, which every time anybody goes across the ice, I'm freaking out because...
Oh, my God.
I
Why
know.
the fuck would you do that?
No, but it's Montana.
I don't
Yeah.
care.
In the middle of the winter.
I don't care. It's ice.
I don't know. I would feel pretty confident in an iced over lake in Montana.
No.
Yep.
Ice is just water that has become solid, which means it can become a liquid state again.
I know.
But Ilsa, ballsy little thing that she is, goes in search of the smoke. And she gets out there, and there is this little shack of a cabin. And it just stressed me out to have her being like yelling, going, Jerry? Jerry? And she looks in the cabin, she looks around, and she feels like she's being watched.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst part. Like, creepy. Is it the Slender Man? Is he in the woods?
So she hears a gunshot, and she's like, time to go.
If they want me, they're going to have to find me in town because I'm out of here.
And she keeps looking back to see if anybody's following her. The smoke isn't there anymore. And she plows into a big, solid jet.
A
love
very big, very large, very sexy, very angry sheriff of Dalton County.
Mm-hmm.
He went to find her.
He did.
And he was mad that he couldn't find her.
Not only did he go to find her, but Spencer wanted to come along like he
Yeah.
thought that Cossie was not going to do a good job of bringing Ilsa back.
I love it.
So cute.
That was so cute.
Ilsa's in his arms, and she jumps when she hears the gunshot again. And he's like, oh, it's just Spence. I said he could go practice. And he whistles, and Spence knows to come back. He's like, hey, wait inside. We'll be in a minute. I love the whole conversation. He's like, I'm sorry I was an ass. He's like, I don't know what this is, but I'm in this with you.
Oh.
And she says it, I'm in it too. And then Spence comes out of the house and is like, she can't stay here.
He has his arms full of all kinds of wood and stuff that he was throwing in the back of the truck trying to help clean out the cabin. And that's why he said, she can't stay here. It's not safe.
Mm-hmm. Next day at school, she's having a good day. She's thinking about all the wonderful things. She's eating her soup with 1,000 crackers in it.
Girl after my very own heart, eating with like an entire sleeve of saltines.
Oh,
Like,
you're a monster.
oh, I want crunch. I'm a crunchy, savory, salty
Then
girl.
don't eat fucking soup.
And just as she's lamenting that she forgot her water jar because she's drinking out of the fucking ancient mug from the teacher's lounge, Who brings the last jar from her dad?
Oh my God. Cassie brought her emotional support jar?
Yes, full of water.
But after she's eaten, she's going through the rest of her day and she starts feeling like crap.
She's just sitting there through class going, don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up. The minute the bell rings, everybody's out. Say hello to that garbage can.
Yeah.
Spencer sees her before he goes to practice, and he's like, you look crap. You want me to walk you home? No, I'm fine. But as she's walking home, she is really trying to keep it together. And this is where I got worried, because it wasn't just feeling sick. It's when she started talking about the headache and the big one, tingling fingers.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my fucking God. Did somebody poison her with arsenic? Isn't that the thing that happens with arsenic? Holy shit. And she gets home. She's trying so hard to put her keys in the door, and she fucking collapses.
Oh, this was so scary.
Because the next thing we know, Cassie's being told from Pamela at the station that she just got a call from Auntie Helen, who works as a nurse at the emergency room. His first thought is, oh my God, is Spencer okay? But it's not Spencer. Ilsa's there. They don't know how she is. They don't know if she's going to be okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
You gotta read the book for the rest of it.
There's so much more that happens.
You guys ready to put some numbers on this? Yes, let's do it. All right, we are going to start with the romance. You can give it anywhere from 1 to 5 roses. I'm going to start with you, Miss Birdie. Show Sally how it's done.
I think I'm going to go with 4 roses for this one. I thought it was super romantic. There was lots of development of feelings. There was lots of sweet, sweet, sweet gestures. I think that this was a very classic romance book. Like, this is why we like to read romance books. Ilsa is the person that changed Cassie's mind about being with somebody. He thought she was so beautiful that he was all of a sudden like, blink, maybe I should think about being with somebody again. Like, that is just so romantic. I'm giving it a 4.
Nice. All right, Joey, let's hear from you.
So they were shacking up after seeing each other for 7 times.
Uh-huh.
I'm about to blow your fucking mind here, but I'm giving the romance a 4. Because it worked in this fucking book.
What?
I don't know what it was. It was insta-love. I think the 2 of them needed each other to finally feel something again. Like, she was able to forget about Troy. And I love at one point where she says, I just want to be loved out loud in the most aggressive way possible. And this was it. This would normally be red flags all over the place for me. I'd be screaming and yelling about it, but it really worked in this book. I thought it was super freaking cute and romantic. I'm giving it a 4.
Consider me shooketh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Wow.
It worked.
Wow.
Okay, Sally, it is now your turn. 1 to 5 roses. What you got?
Compared to the way they were and the way they are now, I'm going to give this one a 5 roses plus. It has to do with the internal development of both of the main characters. Not just them, but the people around them changed. Spencer changed. Linda changed. The fact that they found an emotional growth within each other that helped them get past the challenges in their past. And they did it in such a way that was respectful and loving and caring and trying to figure out their own stuff without getting stuck.
That was really well put.
Yeah.
That was so good. Oh my God. You are a carbon copy. You're about to say the same fucking thing. Are you not? What the? I have much hype.
So it is funny because I agree with all those points, Mom. I am also giving it a 5.
No way! Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh
because
my God.
I just think it's such a sweet romance. Really, the vehicle is the love. He talks about it. Oh, do I need to just fuck her and get her out of my system? And he very much sees that has nothing to do with it. Like, the sex is awesome. And that is not what's keeping him up at night. That's not what's giving her solace. There's absolute friendship that develops there. And the fact that they all become such a family unit makes it all about the love. So it's very much a love conquers all kind of thing. And that's why it's getting a 5.
Wow.
It feels like this could actually really happen in real life.
Yes.
So many of these stories are, let's face it, they're fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
And this looks like it would actually happen to real people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's set in realistic problems, realistic issues. I think that's why I connected with it, because I could see myself in any one of these roles.
Mm-hmm.
100%. I actually had a note how the right place, right time, I don't think is talked about enough in these romance books.
Yeah.
And this book was purely about right place, right time on so many levels.
Mhm.
It was the crux of the issue with Troy. It was the crux of what started everything between Cassie and Ilsa. It was just the core theme of the book, right place,
Yeah.
right time.
All right, now we are going for the smut. Anywhere from 1 to 5 raindrops. Joey, I'm going to have you kick this off.
So there was sex in the book. Yay! Kosi had some good dirty talk. So that brings my score up to 2.5. This is not earth-shattering. It was nice. The scenes were short. There was not a large amount of it. You did not come here for the sex. You came here for all the little pieces that made it pretty cool, romantic suspense, really heavy on the romance. It didn't blow my mind. Thank you for putting some spice in there, Devney. Appreciate it. Over and out.
All right, Birdie.
Yeah, so I was looking back at all of my notes again to see what were the ones that garnered the emojis. And the 2 things that got the emojis were him walking into the bar to break up the fight.
Yo.
And then the statement of, this is going to be hard and fast, and then we're going to take it slow. Those were the 2 notes that I was like, woo! But nothing about like the actual smutty parts were the parts that were the hot parts for me. Considering the books that we read here on this here fine podcast, this is a 2. Not because the sex that's there is bad. There's just not a lot of it. It's not very kinky. It's honestly not all that memorable. It is there to serve a purpose in the story, which is why I don't think it gets very explicit at all. This book is here to tell a romance story that has a lust beginning. So, yeah, 2.
Okay.
So let me put you in the time machine. This is like watching a movie on Skinamax.
Yes.
For spice level.
Ah.
Just enough to be like, ooh, but not enough to be like, ah.
All right, Sally, you're up next.
Well, as a woman of a certain age and coming from a different generation, as part of this story, I really liked it. I'm going to give it a 4, guys. I'm sorry. Because in a way, that's how I would like to be treated, to be honest with you. I don't need a lot of activity. I don't need sexual athletics.
I do.
So I'm more of a cuddler. And, if there's some nice things come out of it, that's great. For me, the important part of that kind of a relationship is with the heart and the mind. And if you get some good stuff out of it, awesome. That's great. That's icing on the cake. But I found it very satisfying through the whole thing, every encounter. And the ones that you highlighted, oh, yes. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Excellent. All right, so I'm coming in at like a 2.5. For me, the focus of this book is the love, and the physical is not what's carrying it through. So it's there, it's nice, but it's not the point of it. So this is very much heavy on the romance, light on the smut.
It's nicely written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's classy.
And yeah, I actually sound like you did make a great point. Like, yeah, this is the way that I would probably like to be treated on like a nice casual weeknight.
Yeah.
But on a Saturday and Sunday, everything goes wild.
But every once in a while, I would like to dial it up to something that would be just deemed erotica.
Tie me up, flip me over, jam shit where you're not supposed to be jamming shit.
But yeah, I do think that this was like a very realistic and wonderfully romantic headspace to be in.
So next up, for the story, give me anywhere from 1 to 5 storybooks. I'm actually going to start with you, Sally.
I'm going to give it a 5 storybooks plus because I loved the storyline. I really like the writing in this. I like the way the characters interacted. I like the plotting and the pace of it. I just think it's a well-written book. And the fact that I have to use my brain part of the time, and part of the time I can just sit back and relax and enjoy it. It's a really good getaway book.
All right, Birdie, give it to me.
I love a thriller. I love a mystery. I love complicated details that I have to remember to figure something out in a book. This book gave it to me, but not as much as I personally want. I liked it actually a lot more on my second read even than the first, because I was able to catch some of the little details even more than I had given it credit for the first read through. But I think overall, I'm kind of torn about it. I'm going to go with like a 3.75. I thought it was very good, very entertaining, but it's not going to be living on the shelf of like my favorite books ever. But in terms of the story overall, well, maybe that's not high enough because the characters are really well developed. I told you I was torn, and here I am. I'm chatting it through.
Okay.
I might bump it up to a 4 for the stories.
Okay. Joey.
I'm coming in at a solid, strong 4. I think the character development was really well done and still have a complex storyline happening. I'm not as great as Lexx, where I can see who the big bad is. This one really did throw me for a loop.
It threw me for a loop, too.
It really did. Like, to me, I was like, ha, that's not what I was thinking. And how layered the book was that it really had me believing kind of what the FMC was believing. Oh my God, my dad's not okay. He has mental health issues. I know Lexx doesn't like contemporary because it's just very slice of lifey. I thought this was real world slice of lifey. Sally, I think you hit the nail on the head. You could see real people living this book out in real time. So it was pretty cool. I gave it a strong, solid 4. I really liked it.
Awesome. I am also coming in at a 4.
What?
I very much enjoyed the whole story. Just because I don't normally pick up contemporary doesn't mean I can't enjoy it. I agree in that the developed characters, you really care about these characters.
Yeah.
And a lot of the contemporary ones, I don't give a shit about them. I just don't. They're living lives I don't care about. They care about things I don't care about. Sorry.
So we need to stay away from rock star contemporary, billionaire contemporary, any vampish contemporary.
Maybe we can go back to billionaire a little bit. That's
Okay.
fine.
What? That was the last one I thought you were going to pick.
I know.
Mostly because I want that to be my everyday slice
Yes.
of life.
Okay. That's where we're aligned. Okay, great.
The thriller part wasn't the most, out there thriller, but it was fun, and it was light, and it was lovely, and I actually liked the epilogue. So I just enjoyed it the whole time, and one of the things that I use as a yardstick of, was this a good story, is I didn't try to rewrite it at any moment.
Oh,
that's good.
wow.
I have no highlights of you use this word 80,000 times. Yeah, I didn't like him calling her baby, but that's just because I'm not going to end up with him. That's not my thing.
It's okay. You can call me baby.
I know.
Didn't bug you when he said your pussy's made for me?
No. That's your thing,
fucking
too.
hate
You
that.
hate that.
I'd love to hear those words.
Doesn't mean I would have changed anything. And to me, that's really good storytelling. So giving it a 4. Let's wrap this up, my friends. I need an overall rating. When you put it all together, what's it gonna be? Anywhere from 1 to 5 eggplanties. Starting with you, Joey.
Okay, so I have to let you know a secret. This is like my 8th Devney Perry novel.
Oh my God.
Well, when you've read over 1,000 books, this doesn't surprise me.
1,235 right now.
Jesus Christ.
I read her romantasy first.
She does romantasy?
Yes, she does, my friends.
What the fuck?
Believe it or not, I like her romantasy better than I like her contemporary.
Oh,
But
God.
nonetheless, it's driving me down the rabbit hole. With that being said, huge Devney Perry fan. I think if you like someone who is very strong on the character development component of it, writes really good real-life romance, and that's why I keep reading them. As a whole, overall, I'm giving this a 4.25. She's an author that I'm going to continue to add to my repertoire. Everybody should read her romantasy, Shield of Sparrows. Book 2 will be coming out. I'm excited for it. Hit me up on the Lusty Library podcast.com so we can chat about it. But 4.25 for me. I enjoyed this book.
Fantastic. Sally, what's your overall view on this?
Okay, I'm going to give it a 4.8.
All right. I love it.
I just enjoyed it from first page to the last page. Everything tracks and makes sense out of it, too. In
Mhm.
other words, you're not having all these unrealistic expectations. You're not trying to run a marathon. It has a good pacing. It's just good. 4.8.
Nice. All right, Birdie.
So I liked this book very much. I liked it better on my second read, which I didn't think I was going to. Didn't strike me as like a super favorite. I thought it was a lot of fun. So I'm landing at a 3.75. We've read a lot of books now.
Yes.
We have a lot to compare to that are a
Yes.
lot that are very fresh in my mind. You have to work very hard to stand out in my brain now because I have very
Mhm.
limited bandwidth. Unless it is like truly rocking my socks off, I'm like, there we go, you know?
Excellent. See, now I'm doing the torn thing. This is a really good read. I normally would put something like this at like a 3.5. The thing is, though, I kind of want to bump it up to a 4 just because I didn't think I was going to like this book at all. I, unlike you, read the summaries, and I was like, fuck, we're in a small town, X number 1. We are in a small town, not in the East Coast, so strike number 2.
There shall be no towns other than East Coast towns.
Which, here's the irony on this one, is I'm actually going to Missoula later on this year with a
Oh, no
friend.
shit.
Yeah, to go check it out just because they were from the area and wants to go back visit friends and was like, hey, you want to come with me? I'm like, yeah, why not?
That's so
So
funny.
I will very soon be seeing Montana. And it's contemporary. You know how I feel about contemporary. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I liked this book so much more than I thought I was going to. It's a lovely kind of view of a small town. It's a wonderful little romance, and it was a cute little thriller. I was genuinely surprised how much I enjoyed it. So I am landing at a 4.
All
Hey,
right.
Lex,
Yeah.
when you go on your trip to Montana, can you bring me back a sheriff, please?
I'll start taking applications. Oh my goodness. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. Now you know what's coming next. I crave nice words and validation. So please, 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 please go on to those platforms that you listen to us to. Hit those follow buttons, give us those reviews, give us those stars. We're everywhere at this point. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on things I haven't even heard of. They just keep telling me we're there. Go to them.
All right, because you people are nosy motherfucking listeners. You want to know what book we're reading next. I have this good pick. I think this is going to be an interesting book that we're going to read. So get ready, pick up The Risk by S.T. Abbey.
Oh my God, she's been trying to get me to read this for fucking years.
Oh, really?
Years.
And how do you do that? You force it on a list where you tell your co-host that's your pick.
I'm actually looking forward to it.
Okay, I may be breaking a little rules, but you'll have to tune in next episode to find out why.
I only read it as Saint Abby.
And I read it as Stabby.
Wait, is that the joke? Oh my God, Lex, I think that's the joke. Anyways.
You're too cute. Guys, I would like us to say, hey, thanks, Sally, for coming to join us today.
Thank you so very much. You were amazing.
Thank you for having me. It was a blast.
This was so fun. Happy Mother's Day for all you mamas out there.
Happy Mother's Day. And thanks, Mom. Thanks for getting me to read.
You're welcome.
Oh. All right, friends. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next time.